So today we study about electricity. So before we start studying the electricity, it is important for us to know about the structure of atom. Actually, what makes the current to flow? Which one is responsible for the flow of current? So to understand that, let's see a structure of atom. So like in every atom, there is a nucleus. Okay, the nucleus, there are protons and neutrons. Protons are positively charged, neutrons are neutral. So electrons move in the orbit. So that how many they are, that is not under our discussion. Only thing we can say, electrons are outside in the outermost shell, or electrons move in the orbit. So whenever you apply any external force on this, maybe due to giving a force or giving some energy to this, then what you will see, it is easy to pull out the electrons. Electrons can be pulled out because you need a heavy force to take out the proton from the nucleus, because it is the central part of the atom. That means we got an idea here. Electrons are responsible for the flow of current. That means if there is a conductor, there is a piece of wire here, there are so many atoms here, so many atoms, each one, electrons come out, electrons come out, electrons come out, electrons come out. So this electrons flow, which is responsible for the flow of the current. So first idea we got here, electrons are responsible for the flow of current, because when you give an external force to the atom, electrons move out easily. So let's note down the first point. First point is, electrons are responsible for the flow of current. The aim of short. So if electrons are responsible for the flow of current, sometimes you might have observed, you comb your hair, so your comb in front of a bit of papers, you see it gets attracted. So what makes it? That means some charge is developed in the comb, so it gets attracted. Or you rub a glass rod with silk, show it to the bits of paper, you see the papers get attracted. That means there are two types of current, two types of charge developed. So you can say here, two types of electricity. Two types of electricity. So electricity is what? The flow of electrons, the flow of charge, flow of negative charge here. Now, one is static electricity. That is the electricity at rest. You can give one example. Glass rod rubbed with silk, gets positively charged. So why positively? We will be discussing in the higher class why it is positive. It is experimental. And it attracts the beads of petrol. Okay. Now the charge developed without the flow of electrons continuously, that is called electricity at rest. Means electrons are not moving, still the body is charged. Now what is current electricity? The charge in motion. Charge in current electricity. Charge in motion is called current electricity. It's like a piece of wire. Now you connect it to cells. Two cells are present. This is negative, positive side, negative, positive side. Then if you put one galvanometer here, which detects the flow of current, when you connect it, you can see there will be deflection, or you can put a key here. When the switch is closed, you see the current flows. Current flows from positive to negative. Electrons flow from negative to positive. This is the direction of current I. This is negative to positive. This is the direction of electrons. Electrons move from negative to positive. Conventional current flows from positive to negative. That we are going to discuss. But anyhow, the flow of electrons are responsible for the flow of current. That is called current electricity. Here the electrons are moving in a conductor. But here I rub a pen here, show to the bits of paper. Paper gets attracted. So that is called static electricity. Electricity at rest. But there is a flow of current, flow of electrons, that will be called as current. It means electrons are moving like this. Electrons are moving. In the conductor, that is current electricity. So where does this electron move? In which substance it moves? That is, they move in conductors. Where they cannot move, that is called insulator. So there are two types here. First you can write what is called a conductor. The substance in which the current can pass. Example you can give: human body, aluminum, metals. Means if I connect my body to the electricity, then automatically it will go to the earth, because my body is a conductor. Okay, if I connect the wire to a piece of wood, then the current will not pass. Or you hold it, suppose you hold a metal, connect the wire to it, that means pass current to this, then you will get a shock. Means your body is charged, means you are getting the current, means your body is conductor. But if you hold, because metal, through metal the current is passing and it is passing to your body, then it gets earth, then only you get a shock. But if you, instead of metal, if you hold a piece of wood, connect a conductor to this where the current is flowing, you will not get shock, because the wood is insulator and through insulator current cannot pass. So that is the difference. The body through which the current can pass is conductor. The body through which the current cannot pass is insulator. So there are semiconductors that we will study in the higher class. The current can pass is conductor. Example you can write metals, human body, like this. What is the insulator? The substance is conductors, substances. Through which the current cannot pass. It's called insulator. Example you can write dry, not wet. Then you can write gases like phosphorus, non-metal. Phosphorus, gases like, you can write oxygen, chlorine, etc. through which it cannot pass. Okay, there are two types of so let's say what is called electric current and conventional current. Electric current, that is the current produced due to flow of electrons in a conductor. Okay, then conventional current, that is the current which flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal of the source. Here the source are taken as cells, which you call as the battery. So this will be clear to you if I take a diagram here. Suppose there is a piece of conductor. When you see there are number of electrons, the E this is the movement of electrons. This is negative to positive. Electrons flow from negative to positive. That is called your flow of electrons is called electric current. How do they move? Now you give some force or energy to that. How do you give it? Now you connect it to a source. That source is your cell. Small one, this is negative, this is positive. Then you hold a key here. Then you put a galvanometer which takes the flow of current. This is key. This is cell. This is the source here. Potential you are giving here. The electrons flows like this. That is negative to positive. This is called electric current. Current flows conventional opposite. positive to negative in the conductor. So this is the flow of current I. So we will be discussing about this conventional current here. So the flow of conventional current is from positive direction to negative direction. That means if it completes a circuit, the pointer in the galvanometer will show a deflection that shows that the current is passing. When the key is open, there is no deflection here, but when the key is on, the galvanometer pointer gets deflected. That means it shows there is a flow of current. So now two things will remember here. Electrons move from negative to positive side. That is called electric current, and current that flows from positive to negative side, that is called conventional current. So now the question is, why do the current flows from positive terminal to negative terminal? That could be a big question on this. So you can write why the current flows from. So before that, let's write down. The flow of current is possible due to flow of electrons. So you can write the charge is flowing here. The current you can define, symbolized as I, the rate of flow of charge. Rate of flow of charge. Rate means time. So you can say if Q coulomb of charge is flown in t seconds, then the current produced is in amperes. Look, I equals to rate, charge by time. Charge by time. So what is ampere here? The unit, the current which you measure is in ampere. Charge flows, say about electrons is a negative charge, proton is a positive charge. The conventional current will be positive charge, electrons will be negative charge. So negative charge or the charge per unit time. So let's write SI unit. Time second. Charge Q coulomb. Current I, that is ampere. So when I write 1 ampere, that is 1 coulomb by 1 second. So how will you define it? Q coulomb per 1 coulomb per 1 second. That means, that is, if the charge Q of 1 coulomb flows for the time t of 1 second, then the current flows I is of 1 ampere. That means what is current? Flow of charge by time. Okay. Now the question is, that can be a question, why the conventional current flows from positive to negative. Question is, why the conventional current flows from positive to negative terminal. This is a question. So to understand this, I will tell you. I will draw the three diagrams. Suppose there is a tank. There is another tank here. Suppose this is the level of water here. It is filled. There is less water here. Now what you do is you connect it with a pipe. So what do you see? What is the direction of flow of water? That is from high level to low level. That means the water will flow from high level to low level till they are in the equal height. Means we can say in the equal capacity. Means equal potential you can say. Suppose there is a metal. This is a metal. This is hot. This side is hot. This side is cold. Then what do you see? If you put a piece of rod in the fire, after some time you can feel heat in your hand. That means heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. Means from hot to cold. Means high to low. So everything high to low. High to low. Again high temperature to low temperature. Similarly, you can understand that wind blows from high pressure to low pressure. Everything is one high, other one is low. That means there is always a flow from high to low. Then in the same case, when you talk about a current, what you find? The current, if this is a conductor, then if there are electrons here, there are less number of electrons here. Okay? So more number of electrons means electrons are negatively charged. That means this will be called as low. Why low here? Because each electrons, if I say this is minus 1 coulomb, minus 1 coulomb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can say here minus 8 coulomb. I can say here 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4 coulomb. That means anything negative is low, anything positive is, or minus 4 I can say here, minus 4 coulomb. That means minus 4 is bigger than minus 8. So this one you call as high potential, this one you call as low potential. So this is high, this is low. So I told you just now, so here is the flow of current. Here is the flow of current. The flow of current is from high to low. Flow of electron is from low to high. That means from negative potential to positive potential, and the current flows from high potential to low potential. This might be confusing. You are writing a negative charge here. So imagine suppose there are no charge here. Then obviously there will be flow of current from here to here, as there will be flow of electron from negative to positive. So 2-3 lines you can write on this. This is the explanation. So my answer will be, as the water flows from high level to low level temperature or heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. To keep the same tradition, the current flows from high means positive potential to negative potential to low, that is negative potential. Okay, in detail also you will go to higher class, you will study how the negative potential is created, how the positive potential is created. Okay, now listen here, let's do potential difference, electric potential and potential difference. Electric potential and potential difference. So to understand that, let's see what is called electric potential. Suppose there is a metal here, a conductor, where somehow, I don't know how we did it, you go on giving a positive charge here. To this point A, you go on giving the positive charge. So what you will see is, this will be, when this is saturated, then you will start repelling this charge here. You start repelling the charge, because like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. That means negative and positive charge attract each other, positive repel each other, negative repel each other. So this will go this direction, this will go that direction. This will go this direction, this will go that direction. That means if a body is saturated with a positive charge, you start repelling, means you cannot give here more charge. It will not accept more charge, rather it will repel the charge which you are giving. So you have given some energy here. Okay, now it is charged with some energy, because you have given some charge to this one. So this is suppose containing some charge, means it has some potential. So electric potential means, suppose there is a wire here, it has some potential, symbolized as G. So if it is positive, then if I keep a unit positive charge, 1 coulomb of charge here, which is positive, unit positive charge, then what it will do here? It will repel to this one. So to bring back this charge from infinity, mean infinity is very far away, but the point is not fixed. To bring back this charge from infinity to this point, how will you bring it? Because it is repelling. So you have to give some force to do this. So when it is charge is moving with some force and covering the distance, means it is doing some work. That is, the amount of work done to bring a charge from infinity to this point is called electric potential. Got my point? Once more you can see. Suppose you have started giving a charge to a point, to the end of a conductor. Then if this is positively charged, then when it is saturated, no more charge can receive, it will start repelling it. That means you gave some potential to this point. That point I am considering here. Suppose this point has some positive potential. Because of this, now if it is positively charged, then it will start repelling the charge which is the same nature. So if I keep 1 coulomb of small charge here, then it will start repelling. Now my point is to bring back this charge from any point which is not fixed to this point. That is the amount of work done. So that is called the electric potential. So you can write down the amount of work done to bring back a unit positive charge that is 1 coulomb from infinite to a particular point. What you are bringing? You are bringing the charge here. So work done, that is potential, which is in the form of energy, because you are spending the energy to bring back this work, means to do this work, to bring back this charge here. So you can write the electric potential equals to V equals to work done unit charge, the work done by charge. So V equals to, or 1V equals to, you can write here SI unit. V, that is 1 volt or volt. So now look at here. So 1 volt equals to 1. What is SI unit of work? I can write here SI unit of work is joule. Joule. That means 1 volt equals to 1 joule per 1 coulomb. 1 volt is 1 joule per 1 coulomb. That means that is when 1 joule of work is done to bring 1 coulomb of charge to a particular point. One volt of potential. Potential means energy. Is produced. Okay. Now let's see small questions on this. I take 1 or 2 problems based on this. Suppose our first question is the filament of an electric bulb. Filament of an electric bulb is bulb draws a current of 0.5 ampere. A means ampere. Calculate the amount of charge if the bulb lights for calculate the amount of charge flown if the bulb is blown for how many seconds? 2.5 hours. If the bulb is blown for 2.5 hours. Okay. Look here. Draws a current of 0.5 ampere. That means I equals to 0.5 ampere. Calculate the amount of charge. Charge means Q is not given. Then it glows for 2.5 hours. That means time equals to 2.5 hours. But time has to be in the form of second. So 1 hour equals to 60 minutes. And 1 minute equals to 60 seconds. So 60 into 60. That is in second. Okay. Now see a technique. 2.5 means after decimal 1 digit. 10 you can remove. That will be 25. Don't multiply 6 into 60 second. Okay, now let's write down the formula then. What is the formula of current? Formula of current is I equals to Q by T. I equals to Q by T. What you want to find out? Q. That means T will go here. So TQ equals to I into T. That means 0.5, then 25, 6 into 60. Charge will be in coulomb. If you are finding charge, if your unit is correct here, then it will be in coulomb. So now again you see 0.5 means after decimal 1 digit, remove this 0. That is 5 into 25 into 6 into 6. Let's multiply 150, 30. 45. 100. Okay. You can take one more question on this. You can take one more question. An electric ball draws a current of 0.2 ampere when voltage is 220 volt. Voltage means potential is 220 volt. Okay. Then calculate the amount of electric charge flowing. Calculate the amount of electric charge flowing through it for 1 hour. Similar question I have taken, only I have added this line. You want to find the charge, your current is given, time is given, volt is given. But your current is related to charge and time. This is only a confusion down for you. This is not required. It will remain in the question because the voltage of this bulb is 220 volt. When we go to next 2-3 classes, we will again explain about this. But now, your current is 0.2 ampere, time is 1 hour, you want to find the charge. So let's note it down. Your I equals to 0.2 given in ampere, so unit is correct. Charge you have to find out, not given. time 1 hour means 1 hour means time, that is 60 into 60 seconds. So look at the previous question and try to solve it. Find Q. That is your homework. Okay, in the next class we'll discuss more about the potentials.